You do not compete against the market, you compete against your own reflection in the market. Jesse Livermore eventually realized that the charts, the stocks, the bonds, they were all distractions. The true battlefield was inside his own mind. He lost millions not because of bad stocks, but because of fear and greed, the two emotional drivers that sabotage every trader. Fear forces you to cut winners short and to avoid entering perfect trades. Greed forces you to average down, to over-leverage, and to hold losing trades too long, hoping for a miracle. Livermore concluded that the trader's worst enemy is always himself, the unmanaged ego, the undisciplined mind. This final battle for psychological mastery is the difference between fleeting success and sustained wealth. The ultimate psychological trap is believing your intelligence can overpower the randomness of the market. The first step in conquering the self is demolishing the illusion of control. Many intelligent people fail in the market because they believe their analysis or their IQ can control price action. Livermore learned that the market is inherently random and respects no individual. The speculator must surrender the need to be right and embrace the fact that the market is the ultimate authority. You only control two things: your entry point and your exit point. Everything in between is the market's domain. Do you find yourself arguing with the market after a trade goes against you? Comment argument if you agree. Averaging down is not strategy. It is emotional bargaining with the market, hoping to be less wrong. Greed is the primary driver of averaging down. When a trade goes against you, the greedy mind refuses to accept the small loss. Instead, it commits more capital to a proven mistake, hoping to lower the average cost and break even faster. Livermore called this a mortal sign because it multiplies your risk and eliminates your capital preservation ability. The psychological cure for this greed is an unbreakable mandate. Once the trade violates the pivotal point or hits your sentinel stop, the thesis is wrong, and you must exit instantly. You must train your mind to view a small loss as payment for accurate information, not a personal failure. The market never takes away a profit, only your own fear convinces you to give up the immense potential. Fear manifests most painfully in cutting winners short, the failure to sit still once a position is profitable. The fear of giving back that paper profit becomes overwhelming. The amateur sells early for a small guaranteed win, undermining the entire asymmetric profit model. Livermore mastered this fear by using the trailing stop discipline. The stop is your shield, the only thing defending the profit. Once the shield is in place, you must psychologically detach from the running profit number and endure the natural volatility. You must tell your mind the trade will exit only when the mechanical stop is hit, not when the fear becomes too loud. What emotional factor is harder to control, fear or greed? Comment your bigger challenge. The undisciplined mind starts with the undisciplined body. Your trading performance is a reflection of your physical routine. Livermore knew that discipline is not just mental, it is physical. He maintained a strict routine, a structured schedule for market hours, research and rest. Fatigue, stress, and poor health amplify fear and greed, leading to impulsive, destructive decisions. The psychological battle is won outside of market hours by maintaining emotional equilibrium. He ensured that trading decisions were made from a state of calm calculation, not exhaustion or reaction. You must treat trading as a high-performance professional sport where physical and mental health are essential components of your edge. The journal is your external conscience. It holds you accountable to your system. When your mind wants to cheat, the most potent weapon against the self is the trading journal. Livermore meticulously documented every trade, not just the entry and exit prices, but crucially his emotional state and the reasoning behind the action. The journal serves as an external objective conscience. It forces you to confront your previous mistakes and the emotional patterns that caused them. If you review the journal and see you exited a trade early due to fear, you have objective Proof of your flaw. The discipline here is simple. Never repeat a mistake, because the cost of tuition must lead to learning, not recurring failure. You will be wrong 50% of the time. The master accepts this fact. The amateur fights it until they are bankrupt. The most psychologically demanding concept is the acceptance of being wrong. Livermore knew that even the best system will produce losing trades nearly half the time. The emotional failing is the need for ego validation, the need to be right all the time. This desire prevents the execution of stop losses. The disciplined mind views a loss as a statistically necessary cost of doing business, not a judgment on his intelligence. You must emotionally neutralize the loss so that it does not contaminate the next trade. The psychological mandate is simple. A loss is only money, not your self-worth. How quickly do you move on from a loss to the next trade? Immediately, or do you need a mental break? Success is more dangerous than failure because it inflates the ego and makes you believe your system is infallible. Paradoxically, the biggest psychological danger comes from success. A string of winning trades leads to ego inflation, where the trader begins to believe he is smarter than the market. This hubris leads to reckless violations of the system, over leveraging, ignoring stop losses, and chasing larger, faster gains. Livermore faced this repeatedly, losing his fortunes after periods of massive success. The psychological defense is constant humility and strict adherence to the position sizing rules. Success is validation of the system, not your genius. Every trade is approached with the same small risk regardless of the previous outcome. Your system is your final defense against the self. It must be followed blindly when your emotions are screaming. Psychological mastery culminates in the unbreakable system mandate. Livermore's ultimate conquest of himself was the realization that his trading system, the pivotal point, the three rules, the trailing stop, must be followed mechanically without self-debate. The moment you argue with your own system is the moment your emotions take over and you lose the battle. The final discipline is the willing surrender of personal opinion to the objective rules of the system. This mandatory compliance ensures consistency, the true foundation of long-term trading profit. The journey to wealth is not the search for the perfect stock, it is the construction of the perfectly disciplined mind. We have completed the circle. The final battle is won by conquering greed through immediate stop loss execution and conquering fear through the discipline of the trailing stop. Livermore's legacy is the ultimate psychological truth. The market is merely a mirror reflecting your inner state. Achieve emotional detachment, physical discipline, and systematic compliance. When the man is mastered, the market is mastered. Find your inner peace and let the system generate the profits. Conquer the man inside and you will conquer the market outside. Go forth and trade systematically.